Welcome back. I'm Ian.
And I'm Mike.
Well, of course he is.
Almost forgot my name then.
I have a fab project for you today. We mentioned it in the passing, I think it was last week or the week before in the vlog, about a little birdhouse project.
Little birdhouse.
There we are. So this is the birdhouse kit. It's the Altered Art Decorative Birdhouse Altered Art Kit. So it's all packed. It's on to 2 sheets of medite with a tiny little bit of doweling as well, but that will become self-evident as we get going. So
will it?
It will.
Will it?
Yep.
Will it?
I hope it does anyway. Right, let's go overhead and let's get started. Okay, so this is the pack. So a little bit of glare there, I'm sorry about that. That's the joy of cello bags, isn't it, Mike?
The joy of cellophane.
Joy of cellophane.
Mr.
Cellophane. No.
Go on.
No. Okay, so let's put that over there.
A little bit of Chicago for you there.
Yeah. Okay, so you get 2 sheets in the set. The first one has some little bits of fencing on, 2 window frames.
Picket fence.
Picket fence, yeah. 2 little planters. Then you get the front piece for the roof with the scallops.
Planters.
Little
window boxes.
Window boxes. That's
faux window boxes.
Faux window. Well, they weren't real window boxes, were they?
Well, you never know.
Oh no. One part of the roof and the base, and on the other sheet you get
another dowel.
That's the same dowel, just moved. You get the birdie, the chimney. You get the back of the birdhouse, the other side of the roof, and the 2 walls with the windows cut in already.
Fabulous.
So I'll just pop these out.
So these are on what thickness?
3mm.
3mm.
3mm medite, yep. Put straight out from the sheet.
Little tabs just to hold them in the sheet.
Yep.
For transport.
Yep. Makes it easier.
Yep.
All you need to
Do you want a little Henry board?
Yes, please. That would be lovely, thank you. I'll just keep popping them
just
out.
Run back across to the west wing.
And get one. So just pop straight off.
There we go.
There we are. Thank you very much, Mike.
I also use those for resins as well.
Oh, do you? Not for just doing your nails?
No.
No. Okay.
Nails don't last long enough.
Just be careful when you push the birdie out. You don't push too hard and break the little link between that and the...
if you hold the kit up to the light, you can actually see through the cut as to where the little tabs are. But you don't really need to. Just go on the edge, just pushing gently, and usually it just falls straight out.
Yeah. I mean, the tiny, I mean, they're hardly there at all. Just makes life a little bit easier when you're sticking together if they're just sanded off very lightly.
Yeah.
So there's just one there.
That's pretty much all you need.
It is.
Just a gentle rub.
Yep. And there as well. Don't have to go overboard with it. Yeah. So that's that one done. Just a very light.
Yeah, just with a fine grit sandpaper or with an emery board.
Or just use a craft knife and just nip
oh,
them off.
You're laughing.
Or a little bit of a craft knife would do it as well, wouldn't it? Just nip the...
Just scrape.
Yeah.
Or just even the edge of a bladed pair of scissors. It'll just scrape it off.
So then there's the chimney. He's done already. The little birdie.
To be honest, they're so small, even if you don't bother.
You're
not going to tell.
Once you're painted, you're not going to see them.
No.
Okay, so that's sheet 1. Or
So
sheet
just
2.
just along the edges.
Very lightly around the edges, just push. And they come out.
I just push with my thumbnail.
Do you? Oh yeah.
Just push a little bit on the edge with my thumbnail.
Yep, I see. Yep. Perfect, Mike. Absolutely perfect.
That's it, just where it joins.
And then just there, very lightly. There we are.
You see, we could do the tabs smaller.
But you risk them coming out in the post.
Exactly, but when they've been transported across the Atlantic and aeroplanes or boats or whatever, when they're getting thrown around by careless postal workers, then we just thought just that extra kind of like half a millimetre on the tabs is just worth it.
Oh yeah.
Just in case.
I mean, look, that's the extent of the tab. You can look, there, just about see it there.
If you're interested, the tab size is literally 0.45 of a millimetre, so less than half a millimetre. So you're talking what is it, like 1/16 of an inch?
Something like
Less
that.
than 1/16 of an inch.
Yep. Just can't get me. No, that's it. Yep.
Probably 1/25 of an inch, actually.
It's those. Yeah.
Less than 1/25 of an inch.
Then we've got the decorative piece. So just push the whole thing out to start with. There we are. And what you need on this one, you're going to need the scallop piece with the frame. So I'll just do that first. Push the triangle out of the middle. It's going to need the triangle as well. So that goes.
So you need that bit because that's the eaves.
That's the eaves of the
isn't it?
front.
You don't need.
A circle. The circle is.
That's waist.
That's waist. However,
You do need the ring.
you do need the ring, and you do need this triangle. If you,
Do you?
Yeah, because you can actually put it onto the back of the roof. Gives it a little bit more interest.
Oh, okay.
It's just like a bit of added bonus.
Optional piece.
Optional piece, yeah.
Optional decoration.
When I designed it originally, I didn't bother with this piece. I thought, oh, you don't need it. And then I thought, oh, yeah.
You could do something with it.
Yeah, so just that.
If you've got those little jeweller's files that you can get really, really inexpensively,
Oh, yeah.
you could just use one of those.
Yes, you could.
I've got a little set that I use when I'm cleaning the flashing off my resins. I've got this little tiny set of files, and let's see if I can find one to show you. There we go, like that.
Oh, yeah.
Tiny, tiny little file. Very, very inexpensive. Actually, you know, it could be something that you could actually stock on the website. Packet of those files.
Yeah, that'd be a nice idea, yeah.
Because they're inexpensive
Oh,
enough to be able to do
a
it.
couple of pounds, that's all it would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's that one empty as well. So put those there, put them on the floor. And then I'll just finish off the little...
Clear off the bits of flashing.
Yeah, I think the base is done already.
Shall we come back, or do you reckon
No, we're done. We're done.
Oh, it was as
So,
quick as that.
it was. Okay, so what we need to do to start with, we need to glue on the front and the back. Obviously the front has got the hole in it. Don't forget you've got your little dowel, which goes in there with a little bit of glue on it, Mike.
Yes.
But we'll come to that in a little while. So, you need, put all this onto one side. So to start with, you need both pieces.
Well, shall we just tidy up a bit and come back?
Hang on, that's
And then
it.
do it in state. Oh, we've done
Tidied up, that was easy, wasn't
it.
it?
Done it.
Okay, so
We're done.
you'll notice that the windows are higher
Okay.
than there.
Right.
The reason being that you have to put on the window box and the window frame. So don't put them on upside down, because if you do, your window boxes will be touching the floor nearly.
All right. Okay.
So
So it's a birdhouse for short people.
it's it's vertically challenged. So that piece goes into there, which I'll glue now. But I'm using glossy accents. You can use any kind of wood glue that you want. I love glossy accents for the fact that it dries so quickly. Oh dear. Wibbly wobbly.
And you've not even had a coffee this morning. Could you don't drink it?
Don't drink coffee.
You just had a fruit tea though, didn't you?
I did. Oh!
Tea, Sam.
T7. Yeah, so that will go in there. So I just want to put in a little bit on the edge there. And a little bit on the edge there. So then that will go into there. Like that. So there you go. It goes into there.
That's one side.
That's one side. So let's just give it a moment to just get hold.
Just for it to grab.
Yep. And we'll put that over there. Yep. Just get rid of, oh, excuse my head then. So that goes on there. Just make sure it's pushed right in. Yes, it is. And again, make sure you've got the shortest gap at the top. And this one will go on there.
So that's the back.
So that's the back and the front and the left-hand side. If you're not careful, you'll stick them on the both the same side and you'll have a house that's upside down, because it'll all be upside down. You can't put them both together. So what we need to do then is a little bit of glue into that. What I would recommend as well is, once you've, let me just make sure I get it in the right place. Yeah. Once you've got it glued and it's dry, I would go down the inside with a bead of glue as well, just to support it.
But before or after you've put the base on?
After, so it's all a little bit more rigid. So let's just leave that there for a minute. Get the excess off. And I'll hold those for a minute and we'll be back in 2 shakes of a donkey's tail. Okay, so these are setting nicely. They're not set by any means, but it doesn't stop us from working and just finishing off.
But they're set enough for you to be able to...
They're set enough for me able to put it together like we're doing now. So, what I need to do to start with is I need to put some glue onto the back edge there. So like when we put it together to start with, glue in there and then glue on the flap there. So I'll just move that to one side. So some glue. Down there. And then onto this one, we want glue will come just looking onto there. A bit shaky today, to be honest.
You are, aren't you?
Yeah. There we are.
See, I've actually cut my coffee intake down to 1 a day now, haven't I?
It has, and it's had no adverse effects on him.
No.
I don't think.
Well, I've not fallen asleep in the afternoon, have I?
No, you haven't. So on this, thank you, Mike. So on this one, we need to put some glue down there.
Just tilt
yes,
it
please. Thank you, Mike. And then when that goes on, we need a little bit of glue on these pieces here, like we've just done on the front. And we can then just see from above, we can then just put that into there.
And then that
like
just
that,
slots.
and then that just slots into there.
There you go. Now at this stage, if you want to, you could always put an elastic band around it. Couldn't you?
Yeah. Yes.
Just to hold it in place.
Just to make sure it's square, but don't put too much pressure on the joints. If you do, it'll all go sideways and then it'll be a bit of a mess. What I suggest, you've got the base here, I suggest you lay it onto the base and then you can see if it's all nice and square, which it is. So what you could do if you want at this moment is put a little bit of glue around the bottom.
Glue on your bottom.
On your bottom.
Bottom.
Bottom. Yeah. Right.
I miss the Minions.
I enjoyed the Minion films. There we go. Don't go mad with the glue, you don't need a lot. Just put it on, if you move it slightly from side to side, you can
feel where it needs to go.
Yeah, and then just move your house to fit so it fills all the corners. So I'll just show you. So here we are. So you can't even see the joint, it's just slipped, but put it on there like that.
Gravity.
Gravity, yes, amazing. I'd have thought it.
Gravity.
Yeah. Okay, so that's there, that's correct. That's there. Push that in. Right, I think.
Just off a little bit of that
yeah, it is.
there.
We'll just move it back just a fraction. There we are.
Depending on what glue you use, obviously you've got more wiggle room.
Yep. What you can do is lay it down.
That's probably the easiest way to do it, but just don't push too hard.
No. So there we are. So you've got your base on there. Your sides are on there. Just let your glue dry. Don't worry about wiping it off yet. And then leave that to set. Leave it for, what, an hour?
Well, it's glossy accent, so 20
Yeah.
minutes should do it.
Yeah. Cool. So back in 20 minutes. Well, 2 minutes for you.
Not even that.
Not even that, really.
Has it been 20 minutes already?
It has. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to squeeze some glossy accents just down inside the box, and I just need something that's a little bit pointy. There we are.
I see, just to push it
That'll
in.
just push that in to the joint. So that it's insurance, really. That's all. I'm finished yet, Mike.
I know. But knowing your luck, you'd probably stick the handle to the desk.
Yeah, that's true. And again, just a little bit of glue. This is this is your insurance, just in case your glue hasn't quite taken.
So this is just a little bit of a tip, construction tip. Don't have to, but it does work a bit better and a bit more.
It's less likely to fall to pieces if you drop it, put it that way. Not that you'll drop it. And last one. And the good thing about glossy accents is, of course, it dries completely transparent.
Yes, as does PVA.
That's just PVA. So that's that. So, okay, thank you, Mike. So the next thing to do is the roof.
The roof.
The roof. Okay, so the roof is in 2 pieces. We're just going to put them together like we did the box. So a little bit of glue on there and a little bit of glue on those 2 edges there. So some on there. And then some
Just hold it to the camera so they can see.
on there. So one piece has it in the slot, and the other piece has it on
Yeah.
the other piece. So that goes onto there like that, and you have your roof. So just wipe the excess off with your finger. And my suggest is you lay it on top of your house. Then you're gonna. It doesn't matter where it sits on the house. As you'll see from there. Just lay it on there and just hold it for a couple of seconds while it starts to set. But please ensure you don't stick it to the roof yet.
Yes. No sticky on the roof.
No sticky on the roof yet. No. So I'll just hold that. I'll be back in 2 shakes. Okay, so while that's setting, I've put it to one side, and I've got my Gee So Good white gesso from Indigo Blue. I'm going to paint everything in this to start with.
Have you shook it?
No, have now. The reason being, what I want to do is I want to paint
They're rather nice pastel-y colours.
pastel colours. So what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to paint the whole birdhouse townhouse teal.
Mm-hmm.
The bird is going to be yellow. It's a yellow canary, so that's banana custard. These are matte paints, by the way.
Yes.
I think the window boxes and the piece on the front are going to be in peppermint tea, and I think my little fences are going to be in rouge.
Nice pink.
So I've picked those 4.
Ice cream colours, what I
Yeah,
thought.
I mean there's the strawberry dream, but to be honest I think it's a little bit pissy weak. So they're the 4 colours I'm going to use. You could use any other colours you want.
Yep.
You could also, if you wanted, decoupage it all over with bits of old newspaper, bits of magazine, create how you want.
Yeah, music paper.
Music papers.
Advert paper.
Yep,
Tissue paper. Napkins. Decoupage to your hat's content.
Oh, and the roof's
if you want to.
And the roof's going to be painted
Brown.
Brown hot cocoa, it's called.
Which I forgot to get out.
Doesn't matter, we don't need it yet. So I'm just going to paint everything, give a coat of the gesso to start.
1 or 2 coats, do you reckon?
I'm not sure. I'm hoping for 1, but it may be 2. I think it pays. I know we think we're going to paint it all twice, but it pays off because if you put the colours on straight away, they're going to sink straight into the medite, and you're going to get dull.
And then, yeah, they're not going to be as bright and vibrant unless you put a white coat underneath.
But if you're going to stick paper all over it, or you want it dark,
You don't need to.
you don't need to. If you want it all dark and moody and vintage, just go for it and just go straight onto the medite. I mean, how you see? That's painting lovely.
Mm.
takes me a while.
Or you could do it in all kind of like Halloweeny colours and paint your bird black.
Yes, you could.
Da.
Your Tim Burton-esque. Other directors are available. There we go.
But not as interesting.
But not as interesting now. Oh yeah. And then it was a lovely morning this morning.
It was. We've actually been out and done some gardening this morning.
We have. And it's just, heavens have opened. And it's just miserable now. But hey, we won't see it.
It's absolutely persistently raining.
It is persistently raining, yes. So then we'll just paint into those. So I'll crack on with this. And
so you're going to give everything at least one coat of the gesso?
Well, I'm going to give it one coat and I'll come back to you and we'll see what it looks like. And then we can discuss it, whether it wants a second coat or not. On committee. Mike, myself and you out there in internet land. Quite therapeutic, actually.
Yes. Cathartic.
Rather than chaotic. Okay, so I've got a little painted. One coat, that's all it's done, and it's covered beautifully. Well, I think it's covered beautifully. Mike's tapping behind me on the computer, so I'm going to leave those to dry. Now our bird box itself is all ready for painting, so that needs a coat. And the roof also is ready for painting as well. So I'll give those a coat and I'll be back in a second. I think there's something so relaxing about painting, especially a large area. Small areas can be a little bit, what would you call it, trying, Mike, can't they? But when you have big areas, don't forget, I have actually sanded the edge like I suggested, so you don't see any little bits of glue. So this is a new brush I've got. I'm rather pleased with this. There we go. The white gesso from Indigo Blue works really, really well. It's really thick and lovely and creamy, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
There we are. What's that? I'll use my little brush to do the edges. Just like that. You don't see the edges on top, but if you're going to lift the roof off, you really want to have it nice and tidy. If you're not going to lift the roof off and glue the roof straight on, there's no point painting the edges. But I just think it finishes things off a little bit. There we are. So I'll crack on with this. Literally, don't you watch it all, it's literally watching paint dry. So it is watching paint dry.
Exactly like watching paint dry.
Back in a minute. Right, that's the birdhouse painted.
Is that first coat of white gesso?
This is first coat of white gesso, which isn't bad.
Yes, I'm back, by the way.
He's back, by the way, if anybody's
I was just
remotely interested.
I was just working on a Halloween project.
It was, and it's lovely. So I'll let that dry for a little while. The roof I'll do in a minute. I actually knocked it on the floor when it was wet. So
broke it.
And broke it. So
Just had to do it again.
I haven't broken it. It just came apart. I haven't broken anything, but it's just come apart.
Yeah.
So so that's painted there. All these bits are done, apart from the fact
You forgot to do the other side of the
the
bird.
other side of the birdie.
Are you gessoing the roof in white before you paint it brown?
I don't know. I think I might. Or do you think it needs it with the painting it brown?
Probably not, because it's a darkish colour, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's brown already.
Yeah. So you'd probably get away with the roof.
Right, well everything else is painted.
Cool.
Just finish the other side of the birdie. Birdie off. There we are. There. So everything's painted. Oh, and the other side of the chimney needs doing, of course. Chimney, because the chimney, not only is it the chimney, it's actually the handle to lift the roof off with.
Yes, that's if you
want
to use it like
as a
that.
roof, yeah. Or if you don't, just use it as a chimney. There we go. There we are. So leave that to dry. So I'll leave that lot to dry. and I'll be back in a little while. As you see, it's covered really well.
Mm.
I might paint the bottom. No, I'm not going to paint the bottom. Is it dried? Is it nearly dried?
It dries really quickly, doesn't it?
It does, doesn't it? I might just put a little bit more on here just to... Mind you, the fence is going on there, isn't it? So the fence goes front and back, so yeah. I'll just leave it like that, I think. Not put too much on, don't want to make a mess. Which is so easy for me to do.
I'm saying nothing.
Thank you. Okay, so all the gesso is dried.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. So now it's painty time.
Painty time.
So I'm going to paint it in Townhouse Teal, as I said earlier.
Yep.
Doesn't need another coat. It's covered, I would say it's 90% covered. It's got rid of all the dark patches from the edges.
And if you're bothered about paintbrush marks, you can always just go over it quickly with a bit of sandpaper, but you don't really need to.
It's handmade, so it's supposed to be a little bit...
Rustic.
Rustic, yes. It says having a little go of sandpaper.
Oh, shabby chic.
Yes. Oh, doesn't really make any difference.
Not really.
Not really. Okay, so it's going to be Townhouse Teal. Oh, there we are.
Nice.
So I'm going to use my little brush.
It'll take you a long time.
And I'm just going to paint in the...
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's covering really, really well, as you can see.
Yeah. It's a nice colour, actually.
Beautiful colour. So,
in fact, that's the same colour I did the Santos doll with.
is it?
Yes.
Oh, great minds think alike. Yeah. Yeah. See there, it's just beginning to...
So you're painting the whole of...
The whole of the birdhouse is this colour.
The carcass, yeah.
The carcass, yeah. The roof's going to be brine, hot cocoa, that one.
What about the window frames? So you're painting the inside of the windows.
Yeah.
In the blue.
Yeah, and the window frames are going to be in the green.
Right.
It's just that you get a nice contrast between the two when it's
Very
like
good.
that. So that's that.
Right, well, I'm going to leave you to it, because what's wrong with this picture?
Oh, it's empty.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought he'd say that.
I'll leave you to it.
Okay, no problem. So yeah, so I'm just going to paint all this in the Townhouse Teal. As I say, the matte paints. So that's what I like about it, they're really, really flat. There we are. And I'm going to distress it when I finish the edges with some vintage photo. Just paint down the middle there. See how easy it covers? Now we've got a white on there. I think if it was still there, you'd be trying to paint but at least 2 or 3 coats of the colour to put it on. And why waste expensive colour when you can use the gesso, which is very reasonably priced and saves you time and money, which is what we want. So there we go. I'll crack on and do this, and then I'll be back when the carcass is painted and we can talk about what colours I'm going to use on the rest of it. So I'll probably fast forward from now, you listen to some music, and I will crack on with this. Okay, so now I'm just finishing off the front. I've managed to get my big brush into the paint pot. As you've seen while I was doing it, I used the brush and it had some black paint on it, so I had to use a little bit of kitchen roll just to wipe Stop laughing. I have to wipe it off.
It happens.
It does happen. There we are. This is a brand new brush, so I know this is clean, so there we go. I think that colour is lovely. Absolutely lovely.
It's one of my favourites.
It is. Okay, so that's the birdhouse carcass itself painted. So I'm just going to wash this brush and I'll be back and we'll talk about the other colours that I'm going to use as well. Right, this has had its first coat. It's drying really, really well. Just need to give it another coat in a little while, but I'll let that dry. I was going to use peppermint tea, but I've changed my mind and I'm going to use pistachio instead.
It's just a slightly lighter
Just
shade,
a little bit slightly lighter shade, yeah. So, yeah, that's better. Yeah, it's I put a bit of the peppermint tea on. I didn't like it. It was a bit too dark, so I've gone for the pistachio instead.
I'm having a cuddle with Mr. Nip behind here.
Yeah, Mike's having a cuddle with Mr. Nip. They've just been out and they've been little devils, both of them.
Oh, Mr. Bentley's just brought Teddy. What do you want me to do with this? Move out the way then. This is why I'm here today, to distract the dogs.
There we go.
Nip's just gone to see what Bentley's doing.
Of course.
Yeah, the squeak of the toy.
Don't they always? Yeah. Just give it a quick coat over. It's going to need 2 coats, is this? There we are. So I'll crack on with this green on the windows and I'll be back in 2 shakes. There's a lot of shakes going on today.
There is, isn't there?
So I've got the windows painted, window frames painted, and I've got that other piece painted as well, the one that goes at the back of the, sorry, at the top of the front, the fancy piece with the scalloped edges. So now I'm just working on the piece that goes on the back of it, the waist piece, if you like, that had the circle in it, the ring in it rather, not the circle. There we are.
Oh, the eaves piece.
Yeah, Mike made a really good suggestion. Instead of using a brush, I've used the sponge dauber and some paint on here. It gives it a really nice effect.
Yeah, well, if you don't want to see the brush marks in it, particularly when you've got wider pieces, or smaller pieces if you like,
Yeah.
like the window panes,
Yeah.
then using a sponge dauber or just a sponge to spounce it on,
Yeah, it's a good idea.
you just won't see any brush marks.
No, of course. And this is the bit for the back. I said this is the waist piece, which it was the waist piece, wasn't it?
Not anymore.
Not anymore. It's not. No. Just tap a little bit of that out there.
Is that the peppermint tea or the pistachio?
Pistachio.
That's the pistachio.
Yeah.
The lighter colour.
Yeah, the lighter. Yeah. It covers so quickly.
And evenly as well. That's the
Evenly as
thing.
well, yeah.
Again, like I said, no brush
A little
marks.
bit more. There we go. Just a little bit there. There we are. Right, then next I just need to wash my brushes and my spouncer, of course, and wipe this up before I put my elbow in it.
That's usually my trick.
There we are. And then I can paint the fences. I'm going to paint the fences the bright pink
Oh,
colour.
lovely in the rouge.
I think I'm going to do the fences in that colour, and I'm going to do the window boxes in that
Yes,
colour as
nice
well.
matching colour.
And I think I might do the ring on the front that colour as well, so everything ties together
Stuff.
with a yellow birdie.
Yay.
Hey, hey! This rouge covers absolutely beautifully, and it's a wonderful colour. There we are. I mean, look at that.
Beautiful.
I'll just move these green ones out of the way. It's with me. Oh, I stuck it to the table. Never mind. Right, let's put that on there. Look at this colour. Oh, that is a yummy colour.
It's right nice, that.
It's really nice, yeah. That's the window box, one window box. If I hadn't put the ground on this, it would have been a lot more difficult to cover. So I think we saved ourselves a lot of hard work by just putting a coat on of the gesso. It only took one coat to cover of the gesso, so that's pretty darn good. There we go. And the ring to go on the front. Wow, coverage is amazing on this. See how quickly it's covering. So then just want to paint the edge. There we are. What are you working on over there, Mike?
Halloween.
Oh, fair enough.
Already.
Gosh, Mr. Organised.
Yeah, I'm just working on a kit.
Ah.
For the front of it, for a journal front.
Ah.
But it's got crowns and wings and skulls and shield shapes on.
Sounds good. Look at that colour.
Very nice.
So
Very yummy.
So that's the window boxes and the picket fence.
You could do a really psychedelic version of this if you wanted to, couldn't you?
I suppose you could if you wanted, yeah. Mine's not exactly quiet though, is it?
No.
Going to do the top first, and I'll do the inside of the squares. Such a pretty little fence. Oh yeah.
Happy little fence.
Happy. That's what Bob Ross used to say, wasn't it? Bless him. God bless him.
I saw the trailer for the film. I don't know whether it's loosely based on Bob Ross. I think.
Yes, it is.
With Owen Wilson.
Yeah.
Is it called Paint?
Yes, I think it is.
I think it's very loosely based on Bob Ross.
Yes, I think it is. It was a very, 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 very clever man.
He was.
Very underestimated artist.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll crack on here.
I'll just have a look, see whether I had any tweezers you could use to hold.
I'll be all right. I'll be fine.
Found a massive piece of bubble wrap. I'll stop rattling.
Thank you. Right. There we are. That's covering really, really well. One coat, I think that's all it's going to take for this pink. I think the green's going to take 2 coats. I know the big birdhouse itself is going to take 2 coats.
Yeah.
Because it's such a large area to cover. This pink I really, really like it. I think it's a super colour. We actually painted the insides, did it? Good thing with it being white on the inside, if you miss any you can see it straight away. Right, well I'll finish this off and I'll finish the other one.
You don't need to paint both sides, do you?
No. It's just me getting paint everywhere. Right. I'll finish this and finish the other one and we'll come back. We'll have a look at the body of the birdhouse and see that we'll start painting that again.
Second coat.
Second coat, yes. So, my pink painting is done.
Didn't take you long.
It didn't take me long at all. Very, 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 very pleased with it. And what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to give these 2 little pieces another coat of the green, just to finish it off. And then we've got the roof to do. So I might do the roof first. The roof's going to take 1 coat, that's all.
Is that it?
I think so, yeah.
With the brown?
With the brown, yeah. But I'm just actually that's dried beautifully. They've dried really well. Don't need to do those again. I'll just ask my assistant here. Felicity, would you mind just rinsing that brush for me, Felicity? Thank you. Right, I'll just move those over there. They're the pink pieces already painted, the fence, etc. That colours are yummy. It really is. Just move that over there. That. Which gives me an area. Put a bit of tape on the roof after I dropped it before and broke it. There we are. There we go. Thank you very much. Thank you. And of course we've also got the chimney. Of course the chimney when we finish will stick on like that, which is
so cute.
It is, isn't it? It's rather sweet. That's your idea as well. Okay, so hot chocolate this time.
Oh, that's rather full.
Just a bit.
Did you shake it?
No.
Right. Don't forget, paints sometimes separate.
Right, okay. Don't think it hasn't got room. It wasn't full, it was just all at the top.
Yeah, that's usually because I keep them upside down.
He does. Strange that he is. Why do you keep them upside down, Mike?
So I can see the colours in the box.
Ah, I see. there is method in his madness then.
Well, it's either that or you have to paint little circles and stick them on the lids.
Oh, couldn't be bothered with that.
No, neither. It's just easy just to keep them upside down. As long as you remember to shake them, because sometimes the binder separates if they've been sat for a while.
I think it's going to need 2 coats actually, but hey ho, doesn't matter. Oh yeah.
No, the whole point of having a little crafty hobby is that, you know, it takes a little time.
No rush.
There's no rush. Exactly. Rome wasn't built in a day, as they say.
Were you there?
No comment.
Oh yeah.
So that's covering rather nicely, actually.
It is actually, yeah. Yeah.
What I like about the indigo blue paint, they are fairly pigment rich.
Yes,
and they don't put any fillers in.
No, they don't. Just a little bit of binder, isn't there?
Mm. So usually you can water the paints down a little bit and you don't have any loss of colour.
Oh, I see.
You don't have the richness of the colour. With some paints you do, it goes paler.
Right.
But these they don't.
Oh wow. There we are. Let's paint the edges. Have we done that side already? Yes we have. Just soaked in.
Well, that's the darker side anyway, isn't it? The dark side.
The dark side. There we are. So that's had a couple of coats and it's just soaked in, and then you put another coat on and you're there.
Mm.
And that looks lovely there. The roof. And then this bit. I think it probably needed another coat, the edges.
Yeah. You're very hypercritical anyway, so
yes,
you probably would want to do a second or maybe even a third coat. But
I can't help it, that's just me.
I know, it's not a bad thing.
Sometimes.
Like I say, when you've got the luxury of time.
Yes, of course. That's nice.
It's not like we're doing anything else this weekend, seeing as it's Easter.
No, that's right. Okay, so where's my big brush?
Did you leave it in the bathroom?
I think so.
To go and get it for
Would you be so very kind? Thank you. It's that big new one I got.
Oh yeah. You might need just to just dry it off because it's still a bit damp.
Just working my way around again while we're going to get that. There we are.
Okay, so shall we come back when you've done the first coat?
Yes, I think so. Watching paint dry isn't particularly exciting.
No.
Well, it is obviously because I'm doing it, but you know.
I've got news for you.
So I've just painted the end of the chimney in the brown. So I'm just going to leave that to dry. It's going to have a pink chimney as well. But I'm now going to paint my birdie. So I've done that. That's the little perch is painted. The roof is drying really well, as you can see there. So just shake that up. Oh, look at that. What's it called?
Banana custard.
Banana custard. Oh, very nice. Right, let's have a look. I think it's quite. Oh yeah, it's quite a nice. Covers nicely, does this one? Yeah. I remember from last time. I've made one of these already for somebody else, but then I thought, oh, right. I thought I'd make some more, didn't I?
Yes.
Yes, it was a. It's just I'm also going to do some Christmas ones, I think, but Tim Burton-esque ones. You know, tall, funny shaped buildings that flare out at odd angles. That's very Tim Burton, isn't it?
Mm.
There we are. There. I mean, you could go to town and paint all the beak on him and how's your father, but I think it works well just as shapes.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's
as broad as it is long.
Yeah, I mean, it's not as though you're going to be putting it outside.
No.
For a real bird. It is just a decorative.
If you did want to put it outside,
don't put the bird on.
Don't put the bird on, yeah. And then just give it a coat of varnish on the inside and the outside, and you're good to go. Because it's made of medite,
which is
waterproof.
Yep. Well,
it's not submersible. It's showerproof. It was made to go in bathrooms. That's what it was invented for. Yeah, little birdie there. He's quite happy there. I'll wait till he's...
I like the fact that even though it's painted, the eye still stays open.
Yes. I'll wait till he's dry, turn him over and paint the other side, because if you happen to look round the corner, you'll be able to see him, and see the back of the...
Yeah.
And it needs to look super cool. So this is all drying. I think might leave the house a little bit longer to dry and then give it its second coat. Then I'm going to give the roof its second coat and finish the chimney. Thank you very much, Mike.
Cool.
So, oh, lovely. So the second coat of townhouse teal. I'll do my edges first. It's not that patchy, it's just, I think it just needs another coat just to even it out.
You could do with one of those really tiny little sponge rollers.
Yeah.
That you can get.
Yeah.
I did have one somewhere, you know. I
think that's a bit much even for me.
I got given one.
Did you?
Yeah, I can't remember what it was. It was in a kit for something.
Was it?
Yeah. It's a tiny little, it was only about an inch.
Oh.
Sponge roller. And for the life of me, can't remember what it was.
What it was for?
Yeah.
There we go. Underneath one, underneath two. What's nice is when you put it on, you can see where your binks, it's lighter.
Mm. I've got a funny feeling it was a Stampin' Up thing.
Was it?
Mm.
Ah, yeah, that's better.
It might have been something I purchased, with my last Stampin' Up order.
Oh yeah. Use that figment
for some strange reason it was in there.
We haven't done Stampin' Up for years, have we?
Well, not for a while anyway.
Many years.
Like so many people.
Yeah.
I used to be a rep. Very briefly.
So expensive.
Well, yeah.
Nice stuff. But my God, you pay through the nose for it. I'm not saying there's anything wrong. If you want to do it, you do it. I just think some of the stuff they actually take advantage.
Yeah, a lot of people make a very good living out of it.
Oh yeah.
But it's like most tier schemes, isn't it?
Yeah. Pyramid selling.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
Which is illegal in the UK, but you can be a demonstrator, etc.
Yeah.
But real pyramid schemes are banned in the UK. Quite rightly so. Because the only people that ever make any money are the ones at the top. There we are. Oh, look at that juiciness. Look at that there. Oh.
Just do a tiny little sign saying wet paint.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. I mean, don't get me wrong about Stampin' Up. The stuff is beautiful, but just a little bit pricey for a lot of people.
What I like about their stuff is the fact that it coordinates.
Yes.
So punches coordinate with stamps, and you've got stamps that coordinate with papers, and the cardstock colours all coordinate with the colourings, and that's what I like about it. It's all that coordination. It takes the guesswork out of it.
But I think when you're charging £15 for a dozen brads, that's when it's a lot of money. That's gone on really well, that colour. Second coat. Look at that.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Right, just turn it round in my hand.
Man, you saying that it's only like Marks and Spencer's at Christmas.
Oh yeah.
How much was it? No, was it? No, it was Betty's.
Oh yeah.
Remember the mince pies?
Our good friend
Barbara.
She bought us some mince pies from Betty's at Christmas when we went for afternoon tea with her. She insisted on buying them. Let me just point this out. You know that, Barbara. It was half a dozen. Was it half a? Was it a dozen?
It was a dozen.
Dozen mince pies, and they were £18. £18 for a dozen mince pies.
But
they were beautiful.
They were beautiful, but that wasn't the most expensive ones either.
No.
There was another set for 22.
Yeah. So there we are. That's the final coat on there. So what I'm going to do now, I'm not going to try and touch anything else. I'm going to leave it all to dry overnight, and then tomorrow,
yes,
I will come back, or we will come back, and we'll put it all together, and we'll explain where you can get the kit from.
Lovely. So, like the Spirit of Dark and Lonely Waters, we'll be back.
We'll be back. That is a reference to a very, very bad public information film from the 1970s.
And I'm definitely showing my age.
I only know because he told me. I'm having a drink. Cheers, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, as you can see, we're all painted up now. All ready to put it together.
Yes.
So, very happy with the colour. Very happy with the finish.
It's flattened nicely.
Flattened nicely, the colour. It's a lovely flat colour. Roof's beautiful. Roof's had a couple of coats. The little fencing's great. Everything's come up really well. The little chimney that I've painted in the two colours.
Almost looks good enough to eat.
It does, doesn't it? Yes. That's the front, I think, yeah. So, okay, so we'll make a start on putting it together. So, start by putting the little picket fences on. These are so dinky.
Pickety fence.
So what I'm going to do, let's move it to the middle a little bit. I'm going to use glossy accents because it's my glue of choice.
It's your go-to.
It's my go-to, you're not kidding. Yeah. I like it because it's easy to use, and generally it doesn't go everywhere. He says. Okay, so that goes on that. I'll just push
Look
down.
at that already. Already it looks really super cute, doesn't it?
However, I've forgotten to do something. I was going to distress it, wasn't I?
Were you?
Yeah.
Why?
Actually, I don't think I'm going to distress it. It's quite cute as it is, actually.
You can always distress it when it's on.
Yes, I can. That's true. I was going to distress around all the edges and stuff. No, just to
put your distress away, lad. Go on, do something undistressed for a change.
Yes, I'll put that there. Then we've got a little.
I actually like the bright, vibrant colours.
You do?
Yeah.
That's all right then.
And not everything has to look vintage and old, does it?
No, it doesn't.
Let's do it modern and new.
Spring.
Yeah.
Spring is a spring.
Well, the colours are very kind of mid-century as well, aren't they? So
nice and bright.
Yost.
So just push down on there. That's set now. So we've got the little... Oh.
I know, already it starts to look cute.
Then we've got the little ring to go around the little door. Or opening.
Your little porthole.
Oops, don't need a lot. Excuse me, I'll just tip it towards me so I can get it in the right place. There we are.
That looks really cute, doesn't it?
Okay, then we've got our little eaves piece. It's just so absolutely dinky when it's all painted up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cute when it's in raw form, but when it's all painted up, it looks so dinky cute.
I'll tell you what I would like to see. I've just had a little bit of an idea. What might be nice
A little bit.
for a future project.
Yes.
Is if you put together a beach hut kit.
Oh yeah, like a little shed.
Yeah, you could do like maybe a little row of 3 then, couldn't you?
Where's that come from?
Where's what come
Oh,
from?
my little fence has fallen off. Oh, I must have put some weight on it. It's not quite taken. Fortunately, it hasn't marked anything. It'll all just go back where it was.
There you go. Maybe you just need to leave a little bit of time.
You're probably right, Mikey.
If you flip it over and then rest the actual...
There.
Yeah, and
Like
then just leave it for a minute too.
Yeah, okay.
You can always come back.
Well, we'll
It's
come
not a
back anyway
problem,
because
is
we're
it?
going to do the birdie. So the birdie needs doing. So for the birdie, we need to put a little bit of glue just inside there and push a little dowel through.
So how far through should it go?
Well, I'm just going to push it through so it's just like there. So there's about 1/8 of a millimetre.
How long is the piece of dowel?
1/8 of an inch rather. 25 mils an inch.
Oh, right, okay.
So pop it through. So yeah, it's 25 mils. Pop it through about 1/8 of an inch. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the back. You won't see it, but it'll help it. It won't get to.
It'll just help it bond a bit, won't it?
It will, yeah. And it'll dry transparent, so there's nothing to worry about. There we are. So I'll just put that there to dry. Okay, so that's okay. Just wonder
So don't forget the fence.
where the blues come from. Some bits of blue on
Well,
there.
you can always touch it up. It's not
Yes,
a
I
problem.
can. That's true. Yeah, and then on the back, there's the little.
That was the piece that came out of the...
This is what would be the waste piece, but there's no point wasting it because you can use it as a little bit of decoration for the back. That will sit
Yeah, very cute.
just like that. Like that. What I'll do is I'll just put that there. Just give it a minute or two to set, and we'll come back. We'll put the chimney on, the roof on, and the windows, etc. Okay, so everything's set nicely. So we'll pop the little window frames on. What you could do if you wanted to make it into a little tea light holder, electric tea lights only, please, electric tea lights only, is paint the inside white and then put a little electric tea light inside, and before you put your roof in, put a little bit of maybe vellum or some material behind so the light shines through.
Oh, yeah.
So like little curtains. That would be nice to do.
I suppose you could just leave them open if you wanted to.
Yeah, you could. If you paint the inside white, you get more light.
You do. You get more of a reflection, don't you?
Yeah, you do indeed.
I suppose if you really wanted a lot of reflection, you could also put some tin foil in, couldn't you? Aluminium foil.
Aluminum.
Aluminium.
Yes.
Aluminum.
Aluminum foil, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Aluminium.
A millennium, yeah. Right. Yeah. Next little window in. There we go.
Very cute. It's really sweet, isn't it?
Okay, then we need to put the little window boxes on. What you could do if you've got any of the little flower punches, you could actually punch some little flowers out and put them on the window box so they look like growing out of the window
If it
box.
was staying inside, you could do it. You could just stick a couple of those paper mulberry flowers.
Yes, you could. Oh yeah. One. And two. If you're going to put it outside, I say just give it a little coat of varnish.
But don't put paper flowers on it.
We don't put paper flowers
Because
on
they
it.
won't last very long.
The birds will probably eat them. Oh, yeah. So we have a little fence on the back. It's almost like it should be a clock in there. Like a bell tower. Okay. I'm actually gonna glue my roof on.
Okay.
So you'll notice now that this lines up perfectly.
Well, no.
What?
No, they can't see anything because all we can see is the roof.
Oh, I'm sorry, of
You have
course.
to tip it.
Duh. So you'll see now that the roof lines up perfectly with the edge there,
Yeah.
with the green.
But if you wanted to use it as a little tea light holder, electric tea light holder, don't glue it on.
No.
And the reason we've done the chimney is so you could use that as a piece that you can just use
So you
to
pop the
lift it up.
chimney in the middle, and then when it's dry,
It'll just lift up.
you just lift it off, and the top will come off with it. So I'll just glue this on now.
I suppose what you also could use it for as well if you wanted to.
What's that
Because
mean?
you know you've got like a ball of string dispenser.
Oh yeah,
You could theoretically put a ball of string inside there and put the loop through
like gardening twine.
Yeah, and that way you can just...
That is such a good idea, Mike.
I never thought you could put maybe ribbons. Or use it as like a ribbon
So I've
dispenser.
got that
couldn't
in the
you?
middle.
What's that bit of schmutz on there?
I don't know where that's come from. I do actually. It's from your the doll you did with the pearls that all went together and took it off.
Oh yeah, and I scraped all the liquid pearls off because I didn't like it.
There we are. So now that is stuck onto there. So I'll let that dry. And then before we finish, I'll put the bird down. So just give all this 10 minutes to dry. So, but how cute!
Did you say you were going to stick the lid on?
I am, but I'm gonna leave the roof as it is for a minute,
Right. Okay.
so it gets a chance to set, and then I'm all ready to glue it on. So,
Back in a minute then.
well, a couple of minutes really.
Time to put the kettle on.
It probably, yes.
Oh, lovely.
It always is.
Lovely.
Okay, so there we are. So that lifts the roof on and off if you want to put a tea light in it. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to put my birdie in. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue around the edge. There we are. And then just pop him in. If you painted him, you might have to screw it in just a little bit. Like that. And then what I'm going to do now, see there he is.
Yay.
Pull him that way a little bit. I'm just going to put a little bit of glossy accents around the inside just to anchor it in. There we are. So there we have him. He's quite happily sat there. So then all I need to do is a little bit. If I'm not going to use the root, we're not going to use it to put things in. I mean, Mike's idea about using it for ribbon or string.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have 4 rolls of ribbon in there, one coming out of each window, and string coming out the front.
Yeah.
It's just a good idea, really good idea, Mike. He says, surprised.
Well, gee, thanks.
Gee, thanks. So, just a little bit of glue down there. there's it wiped off the front. Oh yeah, and one there, and a little bit up there. Make sure I haven't got any on my hands.
Any gunk?
Any gunk on my hands. And position the roof.
That's it, spot on.
Yeah, and just
Give it a wipe.
get rid of the glue off.
It's really cute.
That'll fold a little bit. You don't have to hold him on.
Yeah, it should hold.
It should hold anyway.
I mean, if you wanted to, you could always just wrap a couple of elastic bands around it, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Just to hold it in place.
So there's the birdhouse.
It's really sweet.
So yeah, this is available on my website. It's in the section on the website called For the Home.
Oh, is it? Not in
Yes.
your... I thought you'd done a section for 3D projects.
No, I've got bits. It's just called Bits and Bats, but I decided to put it in the section called For the Home.
Right, okay.
So the projects in future will be in there.
Yeah,
So it's a link below, is there, Mark?
Yeah, we'll pop a link in the description area below.
So that's all from me today. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's a great project, and I mean it would be really good to do with children as well if you wanted to.
It would be a great summer project.
It would.
If the grandkids are off school, then it's a project that you could do with them.
It is. So like I say, it's on my website in the At Home section. There's a link below in the video. Thanks for watching today. If you haven't subscribed to... I've got it wrong. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so by clicking the link at the end of this video.
That's the one.
That's all for today. Hey, I will see you next week, and Mike will see you later in the week.
And enjoy the photos at the end.
Oh yeah, enjoy the photos at the end. Thank you very much.
Bye for now.
Bye. It's so cute.
I'd like to say a huge thank you to all of my angels, because without you, these videos would not be possible. And don't forget, you can access your exclusive angel-only content over on my website. There's a link in the description area below. Thank you.